Rod, I can't believe I get you on two lives back to back this week.
I know I must not have anything else to do.
Uh, those of you who weren't in the studio before we just went live would understand that joke. Maureen, our amazing producer, she's so much more than that. She's so much more than that. Maureen's gonna give us a thumbs up and let us know if we are live everywhere, but I believe we probably are. So, hi everybody, and welcome back to another dVIN Labs AMA. We do this every 2 weeks. We've been a little bit off schedule lately because we've been up to a lot of exciting stuff. We've got Rodolfo joining us today. Dave's going to jump in a couple of minutes. But we usually don't have Rodolfo on these AMAs, and I'm super happy to welcome him
Your
today
loss.
because I know it's never as much fun without. We like to call him Rod. This is Rodolfo
Mm,
for those of you who don't know him. I'm sure you all know Rodolfo since years because you're our loyal followers and we love you. But for those of you who are seeing Rodolfo's face for the first time, we have this like little thing going back and forth where I call him Rod, and it's a good time. So that's all you need to know. Hi,
it's
Rod.
great. I love it. It's one of my favorite nicknames, if you can tell.
Yeah, yeah, it suits you. There's something about it that just like it's the leather jacket and the flames thing. All right. The joke's never gonna get old for me. It's never gonna get
No,
old. My name is Jana Kreilein. I am one of the co-founders of Club dVIN and dVIN Labs. Today is an AMA, as I said. So we have a few questions that people have been submitting over the last couple of weeks that we're going to get to. But before we do that, I do want to officially and properly introduce Rodolfo, who is our third co-founder at dVIN Labs and Club dVIN. And Rod just got back from a really cool trip to the top of the world in Bhutan. So I wanted to bring him on. Rodolfo, can you give us like a 5-minute version
absolutely.
of all the
So,
stuff that you did and why you were there?
I was there to beat Dave and Jana to tasting wines that they haven't had a chance to taste yet. It was amazing. Uh, no, in all seriousness, we this is our third time in Bhutan, 3 years in a row. We went with a group of I went with a group of our members as well as members of RVIP at Real Vision. And uh, why were we in Bhutan? Well, we're lucky enough to have the Bhutan Wine Company as a strategic partner. They are literally um, bringing to Bhutan a wine industry that didn't exist. So they've been at this for some time, and I was there and was lucky enough to be there with members, and we had a chance to sort of uh, experience how this dream, this sort of wild, impossible thing, which is giving birth to a new industry. Last time that happened was centuries ago. Uh, and we were lucky enough to taste the 24 vintage out of barrel and the 25 vintage from tank. And I have to say the wines are incredibly promising. Uh, Hopefully, Jana will get to try them at some point. But I was able to taste how she, in the previous two trips, carefully,
Expertly
clearly, expertly harvested these grapes uh, and worked in the vineyard and at the winery. Uh, the winery is amazing. It's a uh, it's a former furniture store in sort of urban Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. Uh, so that's how you start, folks. You don't start with a flagship winery on in Napa. That's not just really how it works. So, uh, if there are questions, Jenna, from you or from folks about the trip, I'm happy to field those. But I have to say, uh, it was just a real success for at least from my point of view and from the members who joined us. We were all kind of speechless by the end of what we were able to experience.
I mean, I have a ton of questions, Rodolfo, but I'm not going to ask you all of them on the live because I know that we also have questions from the community that we need to get answered. But I do want to just say a big thanks to any of our VIP members and our club members and the overlap there, which is huge. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the support over the last 3 years to the Bhutan Wine Company, of course, and to us as we've been working on this incredible project. The last frontier of wine is what I like to call it. It's not every day that you find a place in the world where there's no Vitis vinifera growing and never has been. And to start an entire commercial wine industry is no small task. So kudos to Mike Juergens and Ann Cross for the work that they've been doing in the Himalayas, and I'm glad, Rodolfo, that you got to go and experience it. Did you? Okay, you hiked Tiger's Nest. Yes,
I sure did.
very good. Did you go whitewater rafting?
I did not. We were told it was too dangerous.
Yeah, it's because I lost my paddle and that whole thing.
Mm,
I ruined it
yeah,
for everybody. I got smacked in the face with the paddle and then it took off. It was good though. It's on video. It's very funny. Anyways, whatever. So, okay, so you didn't go whitewater rafting. You went to all the monasteries.
we
All of them,
did.
surely not, but you did
No,
the
not all.
monastery route.
Yeah,
Good. Okay. All right. And you tasted the wines, which makes me very jealous, but I'm happy for you.
we
Um,
did, and we also went to their very cool wine bar uh, in the capital
in Thimphu.
and in Thimphu, and got to taste um, yet more wines. So it was really exciting. They've done a tremendous job with that.
Not jealous at all, but it's okay.
Mm-mm.
I've been twice, so it was time.
As
We're
always,
we're
Jana
going
has a
together.
following there. People asked, "Where's Jana? Where's Jana? Where's Jana? Is Jana coming?"
Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks for flattering me.
sure.
Appreciate it. So, and I just wanted to ask you one more thing, Rodolfo.
Yeah,
We just released, oh no, in 45 minutes, we are releasing a wine drop.
in an hour and 45
Oh,
minutes. Yeah,
yeah.
at
Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern. We
Gotcha.
are releasing our new latest members only wine drop, Chateau Ponte Canet. Uh, and it's very cool. It's a library release. So the winery made it, held on to it with tender loving care uh, at the winery for a decade. And it's now being released at 2015, which it's a rarity, particularly to get this at um, at its original uh, cost price. So and Ponte Canet it's a very exciting wine from Pauillac. It's Cabernet, and it's widely known by collectors and sort of savvy folk as even though it's a fifth growth, it really is considered sort of a super second. It's in this uh, sort of, shall we say, group of wines that are in the second growth, so just one tier below the uh, below the very famed first growth that are often out of reach. And this is just a tremendous value as a result. It just punches above its weight. It over delivers. Uh, so this is where I'm excited, and I think the membership is excited too. So if you're not a member yet, one
Yeah,
more reason to join.
there's the membership plug. Yeah, so we were talking about this yesterday. We did our Wine Wednesday live stream last night, and we were going over this wine, and it's pretty amazing for a winery to actually hold back a wine for 10 years on the estate. We talked about why that, I mean, of course, from a liquidity perspective, obviously it's already when you're making wine, especially, if you're thinking about wine, you're thinking about it in generations, right? And this is really the case. This is like the wine was made without even thinking about the vineyards and the infrastructure and everything there, and how long it takes a vine to reach maturity so that it can produce a wine of this quality. Like that's already a big investment. But then to make the wine, bottle it, and put it away for 10 years and just have all of that liquidity locked up for 10 years. And then they release it and they don't even charge like a premium for the 10 years of storage is absolutely incredible. So this wine drop is one that I'm very excited about personally. And I just think price point and everything is phenomenal. This is one where I do think it's a good investment for sure, but I would drink it. I would just drink this one.
Well, I checked in with Bacchus AI, and
Hi, Dave.
Hi. I pop in the call at the very moment that Jana's giving investment advice for the first time. Great. Now I got to hang up and call the lawyers.
Not financial advice. That's my favorite hashtag. That is my favorite hashtag.
Fair.
Sorry, Rodolfo.
yeah, I usually am rather delicate around all of that terminology, but I can always count on Jana to just come in like a bulldozer, be like, "Here's my official investment advice." No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, not sorry. Dave's on the phone with legal every day. What did Jana?
I did check with Bacchus AI, and it was bullish about this wine. I'll just put it at that.
Bullish. Hashtag not investment advice. Just to be clear.
I'm bullish as well. I'm bullish too.
All right, awesome. So I know I freaked you out, Rodolfo, when I said that wine drop is in 45 minutes. It's actually in an hour and 45 minutes. I saw your eyes and I saw you look up at the clock. I was like, oh my God, I have to push this thing live. What am I doing on a live stream right now? So yeah, Rodolfo's the wizard behind all the great wines that you guys get as members. And this is the real membership plug. So if you are not already a Club dVIN member, then head on over to clubdvin.com where you can now apply to be a member. We had the club kind of closed off for about 2 years while we were just, we brought on our membership pretty slowly, pretty carefully. And we've been ramping it up in the background. And now we just opened up a few more spots. So we are accepting applications. I would love to review some creative ones. Some of the applications that I get are just amazing. Some of them are very inspiring. Some of them, make me also very thirsty. A lot of you guys have really good taste in wine, I've noticed. So put in your requests, tell us what you're interested in. And of course, one of the main things that we do is try and curate experiences and wine drops to your liking. So I hope to see some applications coming in. We've had lots lately. So yeah. Thank you, Rodolfo. I know you probably have to run and make the wine drop actually happen for our members today. No pressure. No. I will be, I'll wait. I know they usually sell out pretty quick, but if there's any left, we'll give, obviously the members get first shot, but I would definitely be buying that one. So
yeah, something tells me Dave will make the similar inquiry off air. Of course, I'll get this like WhatsApp that's like, "Hey, if there's any left." So
yeah, awesome.
Members first.
Members first. And hashtag not financial advice. So thank you very much, Rodolfo, and welcome, David Garrett.
Thank you, ma'am. Good to see you. Sorry that I was late.
That's okay. It's I know you're building very important things while Rodolfo and I are just shooting the shit here live. So
always be building. Always be building. Yeah. So I actually also forgot that it was live. For some reason I thought that we recorded the AMA and then put it out later, but it's live, isn't it? Live on Twitter. Are we live on Twitter and YouTube?
And YouTube. Get with it.
That.
I love how Dave will always say Twitter. There will never be X will never come out of his mouth. So we know this.
It's so weird to say. Like you just can't, I don't know, I can't do it.
I get it. You're not wrong. That's fair. Okay, Rodolfo, you are, if you want to be, I'm not kicking you off, but if you want to be excused, you may be excused from this dinner table, Rodolfo.
Oh, so I'm glad to have your approval. I'll hang in there for a little longer.
Okay, cool.
See what sort of great questions folks have come up with, and then I might step aside.
Since we're already 18 minutes in, let's get to the questions because we have a number of them today. First one. Can Bacchus AI eventually help winemakers forecast demand or optimize production using its data models?
Yes. Yes, it can. And that's a really good question. And I actually wrote kind of a pretty long piece about that, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'd recommend, I think we should put in the notes or on the chat or something a link to that Medium article, but I kind of did a deep dive on how winemakers can do it. I talked to a lot of winemakers about Bacchus, and which actually interestingly kind of led to the this new smart wine initiative that we're putting together. But yeah, I think winemakers can use Bacchus for a wide range of things, right? So what Bacchus does in its simplest form is it ingests hundreds of thousands of data points a day of this unstructured, both qualitative and quantitative data. Meaning, from a quantitative standpoint, meaning like a bottle of wine gets listed at a wine shop in Singapore, or a bottle of wine or a particular label gets listed as a reference in a restaurant in Honolulu, or sometimes more importantly, it gets taken off a restaurant, right? Like if a particular reference is removed from a wine list, or if a reference is removed from a wine shop their online inventory, or if an auction is made. So when you think about the wine industry, right, what we talk about all the time is there's 30,000 independent producers and millions and millions and millions of independent middlemen, independent retailers, winery or retailers, importers, restaurants, and all of this information it's what we call unstructured. It's like in different formats, in different places, in different currencies, and it's very hard for it's impossible for any one individual to kind of keep tabs on all of the things that are happening even if you're just tracking one label, not to mention tracking thousands and thousands of labels, or 30,000 labels. And understanding trends with regards to varietals, or with regards to particular wineries or winemakers or regions, or even price points. And so what Bacchus can do is ingest all of that information in an unstructured way, understand what each individual piece of information means, and be able to spit that out to whether you're an individual investor, or a merchant, or a winemaker. And really help to kind of figure out whatever question you're asking, whether it's about demand, whether it's about supply chain efficiency, regardless of that question, Bacchus should be able to take that and especially over time, take that unstructured data and give you, really, really pertinent and useful advice. We also think that and just one last thing that this I cover pretty extensively in the article, but like managing individual relationships with your customers, whether it's their direct to consumer customers, or your fan base on Instagram, or whoever your individual customers are, it's almost impossible for any individual winemaker to be able to afford to do that. Like to keep those, to manage those individual relationships, know what wines specific customers like, what they don't like. And what Bacchus could do for an individual winemaker is help them to not just like manage demand, but like take advantage of specific demand at specific times. Like, no, okay, like right now is the perfect time for me to drop this to these specific customers, or these specific customers here. And again, that's something that would be almost impossible for a human to do, or even a team of humans to do. But it's something that Bacchus has been trained to do, and I think will help winemakers to, optimize their returns.
What you were describing there was a little bit like, for the second half at least, was almost like a CRM tool. So not only, in practice, smarter allocations and tighter release calendars, and obviously fewer costly mistakes and things like that. But also it sounds like a CRM tool rather than a clipboard.
Exactly right. And like helping to think about it like this. I'm not suggesting that any of, if you're a winemaker, that any of your customers want to talk to an AI. But if Bacchus can sit in between and say, hey, right today is a good day for you to do a drop for these 10 customers, you should write these 10 people. There's no CRM in the world that could process all of the data and know which 10 customers you should write today. But Bacchus can do that. And so we're not suggesting that. And for me, I would never want to, I think that the relationship between the winemaker and the wine lover is kind of that's the most important thing in wine, especially over the next, the next era of the wine industry, I think, is all about those kind of direct connections. What Bacchus can do is optimize your time and optimize those relationships to make sure that you're spending you as a winemaker, you're spending your time on the most valuable. Yeah, making wine and spending your time on the most valuable customers, rather than sending out one tweet to everybody or one email to everybody. Being able to optimize your time and really have facilitate those personal relationships. That's what Bacchus is for.
Okay, so I'm going to throw in a question. Obviously I know the answer, but Dave, we've had different versions of Bacchus, right? A lot of the people that are watching this live right now on X/Twitter for you have been seeing posts from Bacchus, that the attention grabbing kind of snarky Bacchus that roasts your taste in wine and things like that. Then we've got Bacchus on Telegram. And then, there's always a new version of Bacchus. So where is Bacchus now? And how can people be taking advantage of the tool?
So Bacchus right now is in, we've just released the consumer app, the MVP, right? The minimum viable product. We released it to a couple hundred people that were on the waiting list. I get notes from those people every day that are using it and playing with it and enjoying it. So we're getting, but we're also helping us find bugs and also find features that we didn't think of. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on now. I think within 3 weeks or so, we'll be releasing Bacchus to the general public. So anybody will be able to go get a 14-day free trial. And then if they want to keep it, it's $50 a month, and Bacchus can help you manage your wine portfolio, which we're really excited about launching that into the world. We're also having conversations with a bunch of big wine merchants around the world that might want to offer it to their customers, or embed it in their offerings. So we're having those conversations. And then starting in the beginning of the year, we're working with one of the biggest negociants in Bordeaux to build a special dashboard for them using Bacchus and their inventory, plugged into their ERP, so that that dashboard can help them determine, best timing for sales, best, not only when, but also where and what price. There's we think that, if used correctly, Bacchus can help with about 5% on the buy side and up to 15% on the sell side, which is a total of a 20% better return.
Not financial advice.
Not financial. No. But that's Bacchus actually does provide financial advice. So there's a lot of releases that you have to sign to use Bacchus.
There we go. There's the legal detail. Okay.
I posted that article, by the way, in the Twitter thing.
In the Twitter comment.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about how winemakers can use the actual title of the article is Direct to Palate Protocol: How Wineries Build Fanatical Loyalty with AI Choreographed Micro Drops.
Wow.
So that's Rodolfo, you say, wow, like it's the first time you've heard that. Like you didn't read the article when it came out on September 21st.
I read the article like 3 times.
Yeah.
But I'm just still impressed by the title.
Got it. Okay.
I read the article like 3 times. I love that. Okay. I did not read the article 3 times, I will tell you. So thanks for outing me on
You're
only reading it.
all welcome. You're welcome. But it's posted in the Twitter.
In the Twitter. Very good. Okay.
In the birdie thing.
Next question. We got to move through these a little quicker, guys. We are at 30 minutes past the hour here. What can the community do right now to contribute meaningfully to the growth of dVIN Labs? Well, first of all, use Bacchus when it comes out. And if you're one of the fantastic few who get the MVP access, then keep using Bacchus and giving us your feedback. Introduce us to wineries, négociants, funds that might want to tokenize their inventory. Intros are always great. Appreciate this question anyways. Who asked this question? Hold on a second here. Sadiq. Thanks, Sadiq. This is a nice one. Club dVIN, if you want to become a member of Club dVIN. Club dVIN is our private members club. You can head on over to clubdvin.com and apply to be a member of that. That also always helps us at labs as well. What else, Dave? How can the community or Rodolfo meaningfully contribute to the growth?
I would say the retweets. We just need the retweets. Like,
that's good too,
go and follow not just Bacchus, but also the other gods. Go check out like we are a content machine. Both like Jana publishing like actual real human content, but then also we've got all of our AI swarm producing a lot of really interesting, great wine content. So check it out, retweet, comment, subscribe, tell other people about it. But there's lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, there's a whole swarm. It's not just
there's
Bacchus.
A swarm. Yeah.
Read the article about that too. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The article about the swarm. You got to go to our Medium and check out the article. Yeah. Rodolfo read that one only twice. Only twice? Rodolfo,
yeah.
What's gotten into you?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second. We've got 2 more questions. My goodness. Somebody must have read this week's article, Dave. Listen to this. How do smart wine tokens differ from typical product NFTs? Do they include dynamic metadata that updates as the wine ages or trades?
Yes and yes. So metadata is not necessarily dynamic, right? I mean, some of it is, like custody is dynamic. But the thing about smart wine is this. We talked a lot about in the earlier answer I talked about unstructured data, right? It's data that it doesn't necessarily fall into super easy buckets for to make it super simple for you to understand or consume. And the idea behind smart wine is to take all of this data about a particular bottle, not just about the industry, right? Bacchus is the industry. Bacchus takes all of the information from basically the entire fine wine industry from all over the world, every piece of data that it can find, ingests it, and turns it into actionable alpha. What a smart wine bottle does is it takes the information about that specific bottle, and it allows you to interrogate that bottle using natural language. So rather than have to look up the varietals, and then if you don't know what Petit Manseng is, like having to look that up somewhere in Wikipedia, and then or not knowing like what a particular winemaking method is, or even like understanding provenance, like how did this bottle get to me? Where was it shipped? Or who was the winemaker? Or where was the vineyard? Or what's interesting about the unique winemaking method for this particular wine? Like, one thing is to look through a huge amount of data on, because every individual bottle has a ton of unique data about that bottle. Like obviously the most unique for that bottle is maybe physical location and custody, and provenance. But like even vineyard is probably like the vineyard or the winemaking for that particular bottle. Maybe that's probably only applicable to maybe 5,000 or 10,000 bottles, right? So like being able to look at that information, interrogate it in natural language, and understand everything there is to know about that particular bottle of wine, like that's super interesting. It keeps you from like, I don't know. I've read, it's like the difference between like reading an annual report from, or a quarterly report from a public company, published on SEC.com versus like talking to the CEO, right? Like that's the difference. And being able to like explore your curiosity with an individual bottle, I think that's just really interesting. So that's really what it is from a tokenization standpoint. The smart wine concept, it's enabled by blockchain, but it's not blockchain native, right? It's just, it uses information from the blockchain. The idea behind smart wine is more taking all of the unstructured data, all the unique unstructured data about a particular bottle of wine, that's updated over time. You're right, updated from the time where where the bottle is, where maybe the grapes were first harvested, but like understanding that data and being able to speak, interesting, for being able to speak to that particular bottle. I think that's super interesting.
Like a bottle that talks back.
The bottle that talks back.
It's live and not static.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's the simple answer.
Well, it's
nice.
not quite as detailed, but yeah.
If I would have thought of that, I could have said that 10 minutes ago.
No, much less interesting. I really like the talking to the CEO versus reading the report. That's great. Okay. So last question. Here we've got a question with VIN in it. So this is good. If anyone didn't watch our last AMA, I mean, this is different, but if anyone didn't watch our last AMA, it was very entertaining. I will just give you that and say nothing else. And I think you should go back and watch it. But what role will VIN or the dVIN protocol play in the broader luxury goods market beyond wine?
So in designing the platform, we've thought about it a lot and had a lot of conversations with a lot of folks. A lot of other luxury providers. I mean, we've talked about this before, but as it turns out, if the only way that you can earn VIN is by, buying or opening bottles of fine wine, then that creates a really interesting community. People that love fine wine. That's going to be super interesting to other luxury brands. Because as it turns out, people that like to buy fine wine also like to do nice travel and buy nice cars and
have nice watches
and pay for fashion and all of the other sort of luxury products and services. So we've had conversations with a bunch of luxury brands about wanting to be able to accept VIN. This company called the Global Currency Exchange that works with loyalty points from lots of different kinds of companies. They work with LVMH, they work with Air France. And we talked to them about putting VIN on the currency exchange so that people could take VIN coin and they could go back and buy wine with it, but also that might be accepted by Air France as a for upgrades, or it might be accepted by LVMH for a particular promotion where they're trying to attract people that are wine enthusiasts. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for Vincoin in that luxury products and services space, but that's a ways from now, right? That's probably a couple of years from today.
All right. That's it. That's
it for today.
We're only 9 minutes over. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Considering all of the rambles that I threw in at the beginning. For your entertainment. Yeah. Oh,
well, I'm excited about the launch. It's in 20 minutes. Oh, Rodolfo left. Bye, Rodolfo.
Well, I thought it was in 20 minutes.
Maybe it is. Or maybe it was 9 minutes ago and he forgot.
We will see.
Anyway.
No.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we're going to do this again in 2 weeks. As usual, we do this every 2 weeks. Please submit your questions. You can submit them everywhere. We're everywhere on all the socials. You'll find us always under dVIN Labs, or on Instagram, you'll find us under Club dVIN. And please, guys, follow us. Do the thing, as Dave says.
Subscribe.
Smash the subscribe button. And if you're interested
in
joining,
say crush?
dVIN, no, you say smash.
That's more wine, but it's a little bit more like wine friendly to say crush. Crush the button.
If you crush it, no one else can smash it. I don't know. We have to think about it.
There's a bunch. I would say it's unlikely because I'm old, but if there are any like Gen Alpha people that just happen to be bored and scrolling through Twitter listening to us talking about smashing and crushing, they're laughing hysterically at us. Hysterically.
I'm good with that. I like that. I enjoy that.
I think someone is going to snip you saying, if you crush it, nobody else can smash it. And that's going to be on a loop, like auto-tuned on a loop on TikTok by the end of the day.
Maybe I'll be the next Ibiza season opener in a song. That'd be great. If anyone wants to mix that.
If you smash.
If you crush it, you can't smash it.
If you crush it, no one else can smash it.
I can do it again and any other. Anyway, all right, that's enough. Yeah.
Somebody design the dance.
Somebody TikTok the dance, guys. Do the thing. Anyways, if you are interested in trips like the one Rodolfo just went on in Bhutan, head on over to clubdvin.com and check out our application form. We would love to grow the club a little bit more this year, and over time kind of slowly ramp it up. So if you're into great wines and great times with Rodolfo and Dave and I and our amazing community of wine collectors and wine enthusiasts at every level, it's not a snobby thing. It's just, if you know what's good, come and find us. Then yeah, would love to see some applications coming in from you guys, and smash that subscribe button. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week on Wine Wednesday, and in 2 weeks on another AMA. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Bye.